We got one? Okay. It is the most important brochure you're going to use in your part of this process, because it speaks to everything that we talked about and more. And I'm not going to go over it other than the fact that this is who we are, first page, inside. You see education, we mean business. We talk about that a lot on page 4, we mean business. We're in 25 countries. We have a warehouse in Holland that we ship all of Europe, and the rest of the world we ship out of Minneapolis. And then on page 5, our education. We have a complete educational platform, from events at the Academy in Minneapolis to events in the field, and we have a lot of them. And it talks about all of the different courses that we can put together in your marketplace for teaching people. This is not in Salon. This is cluster events and all sorts of business courses, you name it. We have everything you potentially need for education. It's very much what we talk about. Very quickly, it talks about color systems and hair care systems. And then when you go to page 6 and 7, it gives you a brief overview, this page here, of all of the classes that are available. Talk to Rob and Lindsay about those. Then talks about the support that we're going to give you promotionally in the field. Salon signage, we'll talk about that in a second. Then in page 10 and 11, a super quick overview of the products. The 2 systems, the main systems, what they do. There's your elevator speech on these product lines. Bam, right there. Okay? Then specialty colors. The specialty things we didn't spend a lot of time on today. Next page over. Bleach, Urban Shock, men's. And then a very quick synopsis of our retail proposition. Got it? Now, centerfold, I guess it will be. The Integrity Salon Program. Let's talk about that for a second. It's really one of the main things that separates us from the pack. And the reason why is it's for everybody. So if you turn to page 17, it can go from an independent contractor at $500 a quarter, which, by the way, if you don't buy $500 a quarter, if you're using Scruples color in retail, even on a station, you're probably part-time. $500 a quarter keeps you active, all the way up to $50,000 a year, with different levels of support. And if I turn the page over to page, what would be 18, this page here, now you see the difference levels of support. And we'll spend a second on this, because it's really important. From if you see what silver gives you, versus gold, versus platinum, versus diamond. In essence, the rebate program starts at 5% at silver, goes to 10% for gold, and platinum and diamond are 15% in back bar, but not just back bar. There's a lot more. Then you've also got in-salon education, as Rob talked about. You go down the list, you have, at the diamond level, you have things like customized signage for the salon that's just made for them. You have, in the diamond level, 2 all-expense paid trip for 2 to the Minneapolis Academy, which when you're doing the global and the air and the hotel, it's $3,500 on top of that.
These are big benefits, guys.
Yeah, that's
big
huge.
benefits.
You get also invited to a photo shoot as a diamond member. And the other thing that's very unique to us versus most other companies, if you go to the bottom right of this chart, is at the diamond level, you get access to the ownership. Here's the thing, guys, girls, ladies, gentlemen. If you bought all of your product from one company, wouldn't you like to know who the heck that person is? And yet our industry, in the way it's changed, now we're going full circle back to what I talked about last night with that company falling under all those multinational corporations. All right, I'm a salon owner. I've been in the business 10 years. I've committed to brand X. Brand X got bought by brand Y 5 years ago. But I still buy all my products from brand X. But I don't even know who the heck owns brand X anymore, let alone who their vice president is, let alone their COO or their president. But I give them all of my money to run my business. Now, if you were a plumber and you bought all your supplies from a plumbing supply company, you'd be sure to know the guy who owned that plumbing supply company, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much guaranteed it. These guys don't. And we don't realize how important that is. I'm giving all of my entire business, all of my purchases in many cases, to somebody who, at the same time, and I won't name names, told me to take out a second mortgage to hit my purchase quota. What the heck were they thinking? Or I've never seen the vice president of my company that I now give all my money to. Heaven forbid, I don't even know who owns the joint. I think it was owned by somebody, but I think she's retired now. She sold it. Now it's owned by another company. I don't know who they are. They could be trading on the stock market in Japan. And by the way, some of them are. Yes?
Okay, so in an ideal world, they would be carrying color and retail. But let's just say, for example, they're only carrying retail. So do they still qualify?
Yes,
for
they do.
this?
This program at this level is not category specific.
Okay.
The elite level that Rob was talking about is category specific. It's front to back, everything else. But the platinum could be retail, it could be just color. The trick is, it's hard to make the point totals if it's just retail. So that last point means if I'm a diamond and I'm going to give my business to Scruples, I'm going to get to know the owners of the company. As a matter of fact, they're allowed to give my cell phone number up to that account, Tracy's cell phone, who's the co-president of marketing, and Mia's, who's the co-president of creative. So I'm a salon owner, and I do all my business with Scruples, and I want to renovate. I want to talk to somebody at Scruples. What's coming up? What do you think of this idea? They can phone me, and they can say, Mike, I'm thinking of renovating. Okay, so I can talk to them, because I've been through dozens of them in the salons, about how to renovate, or how to expand. Or they can say, you know, I don't really like the way my image of my salon. I can call Tracy. She's the co-president of marketing. She can give me some tips. That is huge. Or creatively, I really want to motivate my staff. Maybe I need to talk to Mia or Amy. So these are the things that you can offer at the different levels. Now, yeah.
Tell them what you did 2 weeks ago in Darren's territory where they did a full conversion. It's a perfect example. This is what we'll do for you.
Yeah.
You just gotta call us. But this is,
Darren
No
gets,
one does this.
Darren gets a big salon at
Paul Mitchell.
Paul Mitchell, that's what it was. I was trying to remember it. I get so many of them come across my head. He shoots me a text message. Mike, we just landed this big salon called Encore, but with a K. Okay, Encore with a K. Says full-blown Mitchell, which I used to work for that company many years ago, so I know how it works. He says, here's the salon owner, here's your cell phone, give her a call, welcome to the family. Oh, no problem. I love doing that, by the way. Love it. It's the best part of my job. I sit in financial meetings all day. It's way more fun to make one phone call. So I call up this girl, and she's in Kentucky or Tennessee, I want to say somewhere outside of Memphis. Anyway, so I call her up. I said, well, just want to say I'm one of the owners of Scruples. Welcome to the family. I heard you made a big life-changing switch in your business. I know the company you're with, great company. We really appreciate you being part of the family. We're going to work with you through this process. She says, really? Yeah, I'm the bald guy in that picture that you saw. Oh, okay. Now I put a name with a face. And I said to her, oh, by the way, how did you come up with Encore with a K? Because I don't want to just say that and hang up. And she gave me this great big long story that her and her husband owned another salon, just a quick story, and that their prize bull in their farm was Encore. That was the name of the prize bull, which, if you think about it, for a bull, that's a great name to have. Encore, I thought it was pretty cool.
Tennessee, though.
Yeah. And I said, so, yeah, but she said, but when the company split and my husband left, he got the bull and the salon name, so I just changed it to a K instead and reopened it, and now we're successful. She told me the story. It took me like 5 minutes. She was blown away. Darren gets a call from her and says, I just talked to that guy in the brochure. His name's Mike. He's a cool guy. I said, it took me 10 minutes to make the call. That's the kind of personal stuff you can't put a price tag on. And that's why what you guys offer is so special. And it's what it's right in our wheelhouse. We talked about it yesterday a bit. Now we're tying all this back together. I think you're seeing this. We're an independently owned, family-run business. You're an independently owned, family-run business. We're both second generations. Your customers are independently owned, family-run businesses. There's a connection there, guys. And the disconnect for so many other companies out there is A, either the distributor's a multinational, that, you know, a publicly traded company, but certainly most of the manufacturers are, and they don't make that connection. I guarantee you, when they get a salon, so most of the manufacturers don't call that a salon in Tennessee and welcome them to the family. It takes 5 minutes, easy peasy, but we do it. Now what we talk about is, how do we help them with their business? Yes, sir.
Now, say on a salon, if they're a commissioned salon, or if they're booth renter, does the booth renter's money, them buying their products qualify the whole salon?
If they want to merge their points, we will do that.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about, Mo. You can merge either 2 or 3 together,
Yeah.
or if it's just one, then she's good. Yeah, she
Yeah.
qualifies. Absolutely.
They'll still qualify.
500 a quarter in purchase.
Yeah, 500
So
a
it
quarter.
doesn't matter who buys or whatever, as long as that salon is doing it.
Yes.
Whether booth renter or not.
Right.
There's a salon in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, huge, 28 people in it. And there's one guy owns it and controls the retail. And he signs everybody up under one number, and he gets like 400,000 points a year.
You got a lot of fun with $400,000.
Okay, so-
I'll show you.
And that's a benefit to, if you got a situation like that, you gotta sit down with the owner, not each individual one, because then he'll start saying he screws his color, because he gets more points free.
That leads us to our point about the solar salons.
Yeah,
Right.
you can run promotions, free whatever.
Okay.
You know, we were talking, sorry, yes, Lindsay?
I was just gonna say, our salon, we have commission and booth rent, and so we have everyone orders under the one main salon name, but all the booth renters still pay with their own credit card or whatever, but it's all under, like, our salon's name account. Everyone orders under our Don's, so all of the points, what everybody does is under one name. So when we get our quarterly point statement, we decide what we want, like, we get a ton of developers and divvy them up. We get new capes for the salon, you know, things like that, so everybody gets some reward out of it.
All right, so that's a good point. Now we're going to let's talk about what we do with these points, because this is where you can have fun as a marketer. Go to page 25, please. It's with the iPads. Remember yesterday we talked about increasing the salon's business, the #1 way with a service ticket? Now we showed you this morning, or Lindsay did, how you can add on service dollars. The #2 way to increase the salon's business is with new clients, new customers. This program is fantastic for that. Turn the page over, 27. You can see, first of all, you can get iPads and flat irons and things like that. Next one, you can do education. Then the next page after that, you can do back bar. But I'll tell you right now, guys, the worst thing to spend your money in this program on is back bar.
Yeah.
It's the worst waste of money in the history of the beauty industry. Manufacturers love it because our cost of goods is lower on this. We put maximum points on it, costs us hardly anything. There's 2 bad things. One, affects your ability to sell and developer first. Secondly, the reduced in cost of goods on operations is peanuts. We're already very affordable. We're the second most affordable in our gel color, right below Pravana cost per application. True Integrity is in the upper 50% in terms of cost per application. So we're not expensive by any means, we're very affordable. So reducing your cost of good operation by putting free developers doesn't help your business worth a nickel.
They don't see it. Their accountant says, you know, you save 0.00001% because you got free developers. That doesn't, we want them to say, hey, you're up 10% in sales and service.
Right,
That's
okay,
points.
let's go back to, if I look at 25, we have a flat iron in there. Now we're talking about how to help a salon grow their customer base. You take the points, take the flat iron, put it at the front counter, put a sign up with a bowl, bring a friend in for a first-time chemical service, have 1 chance in 10 to win a flat iron. Now, if I have 1 chance in 10 to win a $160 flat iron, by bringing a friend into a salon, I'm going to give it a shot. I do that twice a year, I got 20 new customers for a stylist. An independent contractor even, 20 new customers. What did it cost me? 3,600 points, piece of cake. So I get, and by the way, if you remember back to the spreadsheet yesterday, what did 20 new customers mean to an individual hairdresser in the course of the year? Revenue. It's 20 grand. Because the average consumer, if they're a cut and color and a highlight every so often, is $700 a year. You get 24 of them, or two every month, it's $20,000 in new revenue. So don't waste your points on that part. Do it on things that get new customers Or here's one more example I'll give you, which is really fun. If you're a commission salon, go to page 28, which is where the rack wheel is. Now you see how our rack looks, by the way. It's pretty cool, pretty ultra-modern, but it's not for everybody. But this particular one here, under A, is travel size. So I'm a salon owner. I want to motivate my staff to increase the client retention, which is always a challenge for hairdressers. And I say, okay, if I can track this, the hairdresser who does the most pre-books for the next 6 months is going to win $300. Second prize, $200. Third prize, $100. How do I get that money for that? Cash money to do that out of this program. I take my points, because it's like 60 points each. I take it in my #1 SKU in Scruples, which is high definition hairspray, 50 ml, or 60 ml, I'm sorry. And I sell those at $5 a pop. When I take 100 of those, or 120 of those, with my points, I sell them, I now have $600 cash, cost me nothing. There's my cash to pay my staff for client retention, which increases my revenue in the business. That's using this program properly. That's driving the service business up. Or it could be just retail, okay, girls, guys? We're in a holiday season coming up. The one who sells the most gift packs is going to get $300. How do I do that? I fund it by selling off these little hairsprays.
Don't let them give it away. You know, we hate the F word.
Yeah.
Free. Right. It doesn't do them any good. You guys are consultants. Remember that. Those are great ways to grow their business along with yours.
So how do you get people on this program? And by the way, you might have some that you find in the marketplace that you might be writing orders for them. You find them and they're like, man, they're cranking me out about $150 a month. And I don't know if they're part of this program. If you find, and this is one of those things you go through and it changes like we're going through right now. If you find somebody who's not part of this program, but they actually qualify, you got to let Rob know. He can backdate them into the program. Not point-wise, just get them in the program. But let's make the assumption they're new and you just start to do some business with them. When you do the color exchange, and there's a color exchange form, you work with Rob, obviously, because he controls his budget. Rob has a budget that he works with, so does Pat. And they have a certain amount of monies to grow their territories that we give them as a company. It's really their own business in a lot of ways. And you say, okay, I'm going to do a color exchange. And the decision, whether this is a full-blown salon or a partial, it doesn't matter. There's a form you have to fill out for the color exchanges. What are you taking out? And how many ounces? And then we replace it with our product. You must buy a color intro. A permanent. You don't have to buy all of them, but you got to buy a permanent color intro because you need the swatch coats and all the good stuff. So you sell them the color intro. You say, I'm taking back X number of tubes. There's a form you got to fill out. You fill it all out. Get it to Rob. He authorizes it. Rob, we're going through the color exchange program right now.
Okay.
So you get a salon. You say you know that Rob's going to authorize it. You do the color exchange. The paperwork goes to Rob. He sends it into head office. At the same time that you're doing the color exchange, you sign them up on this form here. It's an Integrity Salon brochure form. You can either use this one, you can pull it off a line, off the clouds, it's in the clouds. I don't care, whatever it is, something like this. It'll actually be part of the color exchange format here really, really soon.
Hey, in order to get approved, has to happen.
Yeah. Then you fill this in, you send it into Minneapolis with the opening order. There's a girl there named Rochelle. She works, been with us a long time. She will contact that salon and say, welcome to the family. You know, if it's a big one, I'll do it also, but Rochelle definitely will. And she says, okay, I have your opening order, I have your integrity form sign up. I want you to go online. Hopefully, to goodness, they can get online. And then we set them up with a login and they give us a password. Rochelle's the only one who has that password. And from there, we take that order, and we, even including their opening order, and we dump those points in. So if they're silver, they get, 5 points for every dollar. Or a point for a dollar. If they're gold and platinum, they get 2 points for every dollar. If they're diamond, gold is 2, platinum and diamond is 3 points for every dollar. We load those points up in the bank, sort of in the clouds in the bank. From then on, every quarter, people at your head office will send us purchases of that salon in Scruples. And we take those points, you're basically done at this point. We take those points, we load them up in the bank every quarter, and the salon owner can go online and say, wow, I'm now at 5,000 points. Keep growing. And as it grows, they get to want to have more points, and they do that by adding more products and more purchases. Then they say, okay, I got 50,000 points. Now you get back involved. Okay, what do we want to do with it? Do we want to do it for education? Do we want to do it for a consumer campaign? Do we want to do it for cash rewards for your staff? What do we want to do? Do we want to outfit everybody in capes? Do we want to get some banners for the place? Whatever you want to do. You go on the store, you buy it, we ship it directly to them. You don't have to worry about it. It's done.
Do the points expire?
They never expire, they roll over, and we got some doozies out there in terms of points. They never
I have 2
expire.
salons sending them their staff from Mexico.
Off of this symposium.
54,000 points apiece.
Wow.
It adds up.
Pete, is Richard gonna track this in-house?
Or do we send this stuff to you first, and then you send us?
Obviously, keep your invoices as they come in with Scruples on them. We'll see, we probably will be able to track it. But keep them just in case as a backup.
And just so you guys know, when you do a conversion and you sign up for integrity, Rob and I get a report on every single one of them. And we look at it for a couple of reasons. What are we getting out of it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Are they growing? If they're not growing and they're dying, we need to know and get somebody in there to turn that thing around. You know what I mean? So we get a printout like January 1 to this year to date. I've got a printout of how many conversions I did in the dollars. And that's how we follow up on these things. We don't want to do a conversion and all of a sudden the 4th month it's a 0, because he's going to yell at us big time. The board's not going to be happy with us. And I'll give you a number of what I've done the last, in my world, since 2012. Can I say the numbers?
Yeah, that's fine. It's so far away.
I've bought back $207,000 in competitive products, $207,000 that generate about $1.3 million in sales. So it works, but you guys have to pick the right one. Now we understand our risk is paying the gals to go and do a demo. If nothing happens, we're out, we gotta pay them. They get paid no matter what. So you gotta be really smart about people you pick and the relationships you have. We trust you if you have those relationships and you're gonna qualify them to have a meeting with Rob or myself. So that's where your hard part comes in.
Yeah, use good business sense. Don't go and just unload somebody's product.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gotta make good business sense, because what happens is, just like that, if we get 3 reports back of integrity salon reports under XDSC and it's a 0, it's 0 profits, declining trend, that doesn't look good, you know what I mean? Then when it comes time you submit your 4th report, you're like, hey, wait a minute, we got 3 here, they're declining.
Yeah.
You
So,
gotta buy 500 just to get in.
Yep, 500 to get in. Okay, any other questions on this brochure? It's really, it'll be your Bible as you go to the market. I mean, you need all the other ones, you've got to have them, I get that, but.
Are the classes that they qualify for per year, whether it be 1 or 4, is that an all-day class thing? What type of class is that?
those are your typical, okay, she's talking about the 2, 3s, and the 4s, the gold,
Yep.
platinums, and diamonds. Okay, what happens during that, this is where you really get to take charge. Because we recognize that these conceptual salons are a little bit different and they have different needs. So you become, then this is where I told you, you're the account executive. You are engaged with the salon. You should know with the owner what they're doing great at, what their areas of weaknesses are, and you bring that information back to us, and then we realize we have to customize a class based upon that need, what you and the owner discuss feels best. So if it's retail increasing their bottom line, and that's where we gotta focus. If it's cut and style, that's where we gotta focus. So it just all depends on that. Most of your class sessions, Lindsay, what, 3, 4?
Yeah. usually
4 hours.
4 hours.
I mean, hairdressers will say, I need a cutting class. Be careful with that. It doesn't really help them increase their business. Being a better, I mean, that's one thing we spend a lot of time on is technical education and not enough, on how to build their business. I'd rather talk to them more about how to do better highlights, quicker highlights, how to do better lowlights. I mean, how to do add-on services versus how to do a technical haircut. We got technical haircuts up to wazoo, I'll show you in a second. But the return on investment on that is low. But everybody wants it, which you understand, we need some of that, so.
Real quick, you got an account that buys $1,000 a month in Scruples. You've got to ask them, are they signed up for integrity? If they say no, what are you going to do? Right, and call Rob or just put on there, okay, per Rob.
Rob, why don't you just give us your number?
You're gonna have it before we leave.
Guys, I'm sending you the integrity salons now as we're sitting here. I couldn't do it before, so you're gonna be getting emails during.
We want them signed up, obviously, obvious reasons, but a previous distributor, and nothing against them, but sometimes they do a conversion and they forget. And I've got, in my world, I got like 6 I'm working on. They're buying $2,000, what are you doing? They're getting nothing. So every Scruples salon you go into and you're finding and grinding these next 2 months, ask them, are you getting points from Scruples? And if not, find out how much if they're doing $500 a quarter, sign them up, send it to Rob, and he'll okay it.
Yeah.
Without
We have a
purchase.
window for that right now because we're in transition. Okay? All right. Change of gears. We're going to leave here. I mean, Rob will be around, Pat will show up, but you're not on your own. There's an awful lot of support mechanisms and information out there.